Hello everyone, I'm Natalia. Welcome to my channel. Oh my god, I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I kid you not. I just came back from 2 weeks in New York City. My older sister, lives at the Rockaways in New York, and she likes to travel abroad with her husband for vacation and needs somebody to babysit her 11-year-old, drive her to and from school, and then drive her to her swimming practice, which happens about 3-4 times a week, and take care of their very stubborn English bulldog, Rocky. They got a new bulldog. If you've been watching this channel, they used to have another bulldog, Charlie, but he passed away, he got old. So now it's a new stubborn bulldog. And I am the sister with no kids and with lives that can just work anywhere. So I'm always in for to be asked to go and to babysit. So I was there for 2 weeks, and it was it was good. It was fun, but it was also incredibly frustrating because October, as we heard everybody who is in a tarot sphere talking about, October is our favorite month. It's certainly my favorite month. How can you not be into tarot and not love October, right? But I love October because it's my birthday month too. So I get to spoil myself in October. I'm a Scorpio. It's a Scorpio season. Everything about October is freaking amazing. And it's witchy. So for me, to be in New York during my favorite months was very challenging because I just wanted to be home. I wanted to be with myself. I wanted to be surrounded by my things. I wanted to be surrounded by my decks. And I couldn't have that there. But I made it, I survived it. So I'm very happy to be here chatting with all of you. Sometimes I just want to chat to people about tarot and decks and about other things in life that are related to kind of spiritual growth and inner growth. That sometimes I think I have like this idea of maybe I should start Patreon channel just so that I can have very inexpensive like $5 paywall. So that way I'm not fully exposed because of what I also do as my profession and being a public figure. But then I doubt I'd be very consistent with Patreon. So it's kind of neither here nor there. But I wanted to come on here and I want to share with you one deck that I got when I got back here that I am so smitten with and I'm loving it, and it's so gorgeous. And it is unfortunately out of print, but maybe you can find it. Maybe you already have this deck. Another deck that is also out of print, but the creators just sent an email, if you are on their newsletter, that second edition is coming into print. And a book that I read that I loved. So basically just kind of casual chat, cozy. As you can see, I'm all cozied up. It's chill outside. It is amazing when you spend 10 years living in California and then you relocate to Pacific Northwest. It is amazing what happens because living in California, I had only summer shoes, only summer clothes. Moving here, suddenly I needed to get a whole wardrobe. I needed to get a whole sweaters and whatnot, and the difference is just very viscerally felt. But let's start off with the book. Last time when I did my video, one of you recommended this book, and if you're watching, thank you so much. This is Hekate the Witch by Nikita, either Gil or Jill, not sure. First of all, look at do you see how gorgeous that book is? First of all, I took the cover off because I don't really like this jacket. And when you take it off, it's so pretty. You see this? Part of it is already coming off because I had oil on my hands. So part of this gold foil has come off. I loved this book. I highly recommend all of you to get it. When the viewer recommended it, again, thank you so much. Before flying to New York, ran to Barnes & Noble and bought it. I get in the car, because I thought it was fiction. I get in the car, and it's a fictional historical story, I guess. I get in the car and I open it, and I see this. And this is how pretty much the book read. And I get disappointed because I don't like poetry. I don't read poetry. Poetry is not my jam. Seldom. Maybe Bukowski. So I was sitting in a car looking at this and I thought to myself, I'm going to walk back and just return it because I'm just not going to read it. And then it occurred to me that it's not a poetry per se. It is written in a poetic lyrical form, but it's not per se poetry. It reminded me of Russian author Pushkin. And when I was sick with cancer, I read a ton of Russian literature, especially in Russian language, because I'm fluent in Russian. And I read Pushkin's Evgeny Onegin. And how I couldn't put it down. It's also written in a lyrical prose. I couldn't put it down. I loved it so much. And it reminded me of that, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot because it kind of feels very much like that lyrical prose. And I came home, I started reading, I could not put this book down. It's a story that weaves together, obviously, some information that we have around Hekate, her origin, her story. But Nikita also has her own spin on it, her own story, the mythological story of coming of age. I could not put this down. The writing is great. It seems like there's going to be a series, and I cannot wait for the second one. Every time I would put this book down and 2-3 days pick it up, it sucked me in. It's seldom that our books are always able to do that, and this one did it. And it is such a great story. It introduces you to all of these mythological characters we're familiar with, to all of these individuals who are residing in the underworld, to the war between Titans and Olympians. Just do yourself a favor. Get this book. Read this book. Enjoy this book, especially in the month of October. And then let me know whether you loved it. And if you read it, let me know. And whoever recommended, thank you so much. What a great find. What a great gem. I loved it. Again, this is by Nikita Hekate, Nikita Jill or Gil. Highly recommend. Oh my God, I could not put it down. This just made my whole ease into October beautiful. When I came back, I got this tarot deck. This tarot deck is the one that's out of print. I don't always buy tarot decks from Facebook marketplaces because I am, how should I put it? Well, part of it, I don't check my Facebook messages. So for me to communicate with the sellers is, I forget about Messenger, and I'm not very good communicator. But anyways, but sometimes I do look when I scroll through Facebook. And there was a post from this individual who is in Australia selling their tarot decks, and there was this one. When I saw the box, has anybody heard of this decks? Has this decks? It is Experiential Tarot. It's, first of all, snake. Oh, I love snakes. I'm snakes, everything. I'm snake hoarder. Everything snake, please. Experiential Tarot by Julie Comfort. I went looking for it, out of print. This person was selling it for $100. Reached out, it was available. I purchased it. And when I purchased it, that was just the time when US and all the tariffs and US post office shut down, being able to, you weren't able to send packages to United States. This amazing seller was so accommodating. They said, well, let me try to figure it out. And I said, look, try to ship it to me via other shipping services. I'll cover the cost. Eventually, after a couple of weeks, they wrote me back with tracking numbers. They said, I sent it, hopefully it all gonna go well. Just incredible experience, and I got it, and I'm so happy. Let me show you this deck. Oh, Do you guys remember Invisible Light Tarot, which I stupidly got rid of? Well, I didn't stupidly. There was a time when I wanted Carol Hertz's decks, which I still have. So I was trying to raise funds. When I tried to raise funds for very expensive decks, I tried to sell some of my collection, so that way I feel better about, let's put it that way, I feel better about spending money on expensive decks when I know that I sold some of my tarot decks. It's kind of balancing internal system. So Invisible Light Tarot, I loved it for its images and photography, and if some of you have it and you want to sell it or trade it, please contact me. This one reminds me a little bit. It's very different. These are the backs. Love it. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite cards. This first card that I'm going to show you reminds me of Invisible Light Tarot so much. If you have or remember Invisible Light Tarot, the Strength card is the woman's spine, and she has a scar on her spine. She had maybe spinal surgery or whatever. And I love that card for the Strength. I don't like Strength cards with a lion. I don't like that depiction. I like it's an internal endurance that is demonstrated, and usually our body scars are demonstration of that strength. They're demonstration of that endurance. I have a scar from having cancer. My scars are my tattoos of what I overcame. Super proud of them, as anybody should be. And look at the Strength card in this deck. So beautiful. If I were to guess, I think this is probably C-section scar. Maybe not. Maybe something else happened, but I love this for the Strength card. So my favorite card. I love this card for Hierophant. This is exactly how I see Hierophant. This deck is primarily black and gray photography with this pop of yellow. Pop of yellow with black and gray. One time, almost every 2 years or so, I get antsy with my website and I redo my website, and there was time when I had this theme going on, black and white. Look at this Temperance card. I love how she's walking and you can't see, but there's almost like this two waters on each end coming together to her. I love this card for the Two of Swords. Love it. So there's no book with this tarot deck. There's Two of Swords, and then she has some keywords: indecision, difficult choices, denial. And I really like some of her keywords on here. I love this card for Magician, because when I think about myself in the archetype of Magician, when I'm ready to manifest something, this is how I envision myself. It's almost like this physical language of receiving downloads, and at the same time of being in this humble state of about creating something. Love that. I love this card for Judgment. So great how she has a third eye. Look at this Three of Swords. I cannot do Three of Swords with swords piercing the heart anymore, people. I just can't. I get it. It's such a beautiful traditional image. But I love it when indie creators just do something different. And while this is not all the different, it is such a visceral vision of anatomical heart. And to me, Three of Swords are about so many things. But first and foremost, it's about the feelings tormenting our mind. Love it. Tell me if you have this deck. Wheel of Fortune. The reason why I love this card here is because of her keywords. Change, cycles, inevitable fate. I don't know about you, but I don't look at the Wheel of Fortune as fortune. I feel like a lot of people do. They get fortune card and say, "Ooh, good fortune coming your way." I never look at Fortuna that way. To me, fortune card is about that inevitable fate. Change is happening, and it is fated change. It could be for good, or it could be for worse. And usually when I get a fortune in a spread, I ask the following question: where's the wheel turning? And then depending on the card, I get to know what the fortune is turning toward. What is the wheel turning toward? Is it something positive or something, maybe something that we may perceive negative now but has a silver lining? So I love that she did that. I love the simplicity of Fool. Just instead of jumping off the cliff, you're just walking into this big white space. that is completely open to you to create. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous hanged man, submerged in water. It's beautiful, beautiful sun card. Here's another one that I love. So beautiful. This is Nine of Swords. All of this anxiety and rumination and everything we do to our mind. But I love how she depicted it here, because it makes me think about chakras being out of balance, but it also makes me think about the nervous system and and how the nervous system is out of whack, which is all discombobulated. I love it. I'm not going to show all of these cards. Let me show you a little bit more so you get a sense. Oh, look at this. So great. I pulled this today. 7 foot for trickster energy. This came up as a self-sabotage from today in my reading. Let me know if you have this deck. It's such I don't know, I think it's so beautiful. I also think that there's something here that is very invisible light, but not quite. And people in here are great. Love it. The color is great. Look at this Emperor. I'm loving it. I flew in last night, got in here last night at 9:30 p.m. went to mailbox, got the goods, and was in bed looking at every card and enjoying the experience. My God, the person who sent it made it happen for me to get it. I'm so grateful. So this is Experiential Tarot by Julia Comfort. Oh, I love this deck. Love it, love it. And you guys, if you have Invisible Light Tarot and somebody wants to part with it, I'll buy it from you or trade it. So this is another one that I've been loving. I had it now for maybe a couple of months. I first saw it on Instagram at Havana something. She always has like this beautiful ethereal Instagram, and I saw it on her Instagram and I loved it, and I went on a hunt with it. As you know, I've been obsessing with circular decks that I done in the previous video that I love. Well, this one is out of print, but I was lucky to find a copy on eBay, Tarot of Her. And like I said, if you Google Tarot of Her, you land on their website. They're doing Kickstarter for 2nd edition if you missed out on the first one and if you're familiar with it. So the ways that I see this deck, okay, and what I love about it. First of all, like I said, been sucker for circle decks. Look at this. Ooh. And it's silver gilded, but I just love the backs of it. So fun. What I love about this deck is that it has a vibe, total vibe of Mother Piece Tarot, but I feel like some art images here are way more interesting and kind of more modern spin, not kind of, but are modern spin. There's also some images here that not my piece of, I'm trying to find images that I love to show you guys. Not exactly my cup of tea, but I still love this deck. There's something super grounding about this deck. There's something, so here's 5 of Cups. There's something, let me show you some images. There's some very strong feminine images in here that I adore. There's something very, look at the Hanged one, love that. Very earthy, very grounding. The book, I was talking to a friend of mine who had this deck, look at the Tower, who has had this deck and passed it on, and she said that she felt that the book didn't really have depths in it. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I still love this deck. It has such strong feminine energy and has a very feminine, earthy, Mother Earth energy. And look at what a great Hierophant. She's sitting between these 2 trees that are also a key and entryway, almost very much like High Priestess. So there's some cards here that I had to have it for some of those cards, like that card that I just showed you. And overall, it just reads so supportive. Not a cuddly, schmoddly deck. Not the deck that is so coddling that you're not really getting anything out of. But supportive in a sense of, I love this image of Temperance. Look at that. See, like cards like this, just so beautiful, and so uniquely done. Look at the devil. I love this devil card. How many of you have this deck? What do you think about this deck? Are you loving this deck? Are you not loving this deck? They are doing second print, which I think is great. I think we can use more of this feminine vibes. Can never get enough of feminine vibes, to be honest. I'm always for a deck that is very, very feminine. Especially lately, I cannot tell you guys, with the whole separation I've been going through and am going through. When the whole thing started happening for me, and I'll talk about it in a different video on the three goddesses, but the way Lilith came up for me has been very, very surreal and very smack in the face. And then the way Hekate and Babylon came forth, it was very, very very empowering, very strongly felt. I was so grateful, and I'm gonna do a video on that gosh, when you get the hair in your eyelash. Look at this one. So like I said, this deck has some amazing, look at the Ten of Swords. She is looking at the one who got stabbed, looking at the reflection, right? So there's almost happening this this growth from the pain that you have to endure, and acceptance and realization going on there. So there's some cards here. Oh, here's the High Priestess, that are just so beautiful, and I wish more cards were depicted this way. But all in all, such a lovely deck, and such a sweet reader. So if you're a sweet reader, but with a little bit of a kick, let me tell you. So if you are looking for a deck that is kind of has Mother Peace vibe, but maybe, you know, there was a lot of discussion about Mother Peace Tarot, and a lot of people had a lot of beef with it, I remember back in the time. My take on Mother Peace is that everything is within the context. And when it comes to decks, for me, it's really a lot about intention. Intention behind creators. So if you wanted something that is similar to Mother Peace, but a little bit more modern, Tarot of Her, and like I said, they are doing a Kickstarter for second edition, so that is so exciting. There's another tarot deck, an indie one, that I cannot wait for the creator to get more copies in. I don't remember the name of it now. There is an Instagram, I don't follow her because I don't want to get tempted with tarot decks. Trina something. She's a tarot reader, and she always has the most unique, amazing, out of the world different tarot decks. And recently I found one that is so unique. I emailed the creator, and they said that they're about to get a printing in, so they're going to be able to sell it soon. And I'm so excited to get it and to share it with all of you, because it gives me kind of Rose Bay vibes, in the sense of it's very different from Rose Bay deck, wildly different. Like if you put the deck that I'm talking about and Rose Bay deck, you will not think that it's one and same creators, but in a sense of doing something really out of the box. I've been loving lately how indie creators have been doing something that is so fresh, that is so new and nuanced. It's interesting because there's so much discussion and dialogue about AI decks, and so many people in the tarot community are anti-AI decks, and I don't really I'm not anti-AI decks. I honestly, my opinion on AI is that it takes much more creativity. It's not that easy to use AI intelligently, in my opinion. Yeah, you can create a flat deck, but you're also not putting much intelligence into it. But there is quite a bit of artistic, creative way to articulate your artistic vision for AI to spit out. So I'm not against AI decks whatsoever. And I don't think they're suddenly taken away from world of art. I think a lot of people are able to get a feel for what's for them and what's not for them. But I think it's interesting that there has been so much discussion about AI decks and how they're taking over and all that stuff. But at the same time, if anything, it making more creative people step up, and perhaps the abundance of not so good AI decks, right? The ones that are maybe more empty, let's put it that way, are in allowing and enabling us to recognize an amazing indie deck when we see one, versus if we're so saturated with decks, how we're supposed to discern one from another. So I think it's very interesting that in contrast with everything else, we have this amazing indie directors who direct their art, creators who are creating something, and maybe they're being pushed and they're pushing themselves and challenging their artistic creativity because in a world we live in. So I'm, if you know any new indie directors, like I keep saying directors, who are creating something amazing and I'm not familiar, drop me a line below. Other than that, let me know if you have experimental tarot, if you have tarot of her, if you read Nikita Gilchill Hekate book, what are your thoughts on it? Miss you guys. Do still wish sometimes I had Patreon, but I'd be the most inconsistent Patreon video creator ever. Anyhow, hope you all have amazing October and enjoying October vibes, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.